Hello everyone, welcome back to Semrai Fashion Academy YouTube channel once again for another interesting tutorial on this channel. So today's tutorial is going to be the making of this beautiful shift dress, as you see on the screen right there, and it has a facing. Okay, so our concentration is to create that facing we have right there on the shift dress. So I'm going to also use a small scale drafting to show you how to do this. So here I am making my border lines. Okay, so I make my border lines all around. So the border lines I'm making right here, this is my starting point, and I call this border line my center front line. Okay, so I have this as my center front line, center front, and this is my shoulder line. So I'm going to impute all my vertical measurements right now. So when you are making a shift dress, it's actually very simple. We don't need back length, front length, bust dart. There's no that. All you need to do is to place your tape on the shoulder, and you are going to take all measurements, and the measurements I'm going to take right away are the necessary measurements we always take when making a dress. So like I said, it's a small scale, so I'm taking my chest line right now, my chest line, that is what I need, and my waistline and my hip line, and then my full length, as you can see. So the lines you need is 1, your chest line, 2, your waistline, 3, your hip line, and then the full length of the dress. So I'm going to impute my necessary measurements, like my shoulder line, my shoulder measurements. I'll be imputing my neck measurements. Okay, that is my natural neck measurements. So I believe you understand what I mean by natural neck measurement. That is the normal neck measurement we have before we start our construction. And that normal neck measurement is determined with the formula, which is your bust divided by 12. Whatever result you put on the width and on the depth. So I will transfer what I have on my shoulder on the chest line. So to determine your chest line, you are going to divide your bust by 6 and add 1.5 to it. So whatever thing you have at the 1.5 added to your bust divided by 6, you are going to place the result from the shoulder drop, and that gives you your chest line. Okay, so I will get the midpoint of my chest line, and I'll come in by 0.75 for the front, and this is that. I'm going to measure on my chest line. I'm going to measure my bust circumference. So this is what I'm using for my bust circumference to complete my armhole. This is it, and I'm going to complete my armhole right now. So like I said, this is a miniature measurement. So I will come on my waist. You can see there's no under bust or bust point because there's no that. So I'll come on my waist, and I'm going to measure my waist circumference. So I'm measuring my waist circumference divided by 4, and here I'm going to make my mark. And I'll come over to the hip, and I'm going to measure my hip divided by 4. I'll place my pattern ruler like this to complete it. And whatever thing I have on my hip divided by 4, I'll take it down to the hem. This is the hem, and with my straight ruler I'm going to connect. So what I have here is my fitted bodice gown. So if I'm making a fitted bodice, this is exactly what I'm going to make for myself. But because it is a shift dress, I'm going to add 1 inch to my bust for ease. I'll add 1.5 to my waist for ease. I'll add 1.5 to my hip for ease, and I'll come over and add 1.5 as well. That is if you want it the way it is on the thumbnail. So I connect my ease allowances, placing my tape, my ruler the way I placed it initially, and I'll keep connecting like that. So everything I have here, I call it ease allowance for front and back. So it's high time for us to jump into the business of the day, and the business